Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a pretty significant diplomatic situation involving Kenya. It's centered around President William Ruto's recent meeting in Nairobi. He met with Hamdan Daglo, who leads Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, the RSF.
Right, and Daglo is, well, he's facing extremely serious accusations, widespread human rights abuses, ethnic cleansing. I mean, really terrible stuff.
Exactly. So this meeting, it's really cast a dark shadow, hasn't it, over Kenya's role as a mediator in the region. Raises a lot of questions.
Oh, absolutely. The fallout was immediate and pretty harsh. Sudan's own transitional government came out strongly against it. They see the RSF as rebels, basically, and international observers jumped in, too. Lots of sharp criticism.
Why specifically? What's the core complaint?
Well, it's seen as a breach of diplomatic protocol, a big one.
Yeah.
Usually mediators talk to all sides or at least get a nod from the recognized government. Meeting Daglo like this, given the accusations and the ongoing conflict, it sort of bypasses those norms. And the fear is it could alienate Sudan's government, a key player, and potentially just make things worse for peace efforts,
Right.
undermining stability, essentially.
And our source material from KTN News Kenya suggests this isn't just a one-off incident either. They actually bring up past criticisms about how Kenya handled the DRC situation, the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Mm-hmm.
So it hints at maybe a pattern. Okay, let's unpack this because there seems to be strong pushback, even from allies like the U.S.
Yes, definitely. The U.S. reaction was quite pointed. Senator Jim Risch, he's the top Republican on the Senate Foreign Affairs Committee, he directly called out Kenya, said Kenya was, and I'm quoting here, helping the RSF legitimize their genocidal rule under the guise of peacemaking.
Wow, that's incredibly strong language. Genocidal rule.
It is. He called it an unthinkable attempt to obscure the truth. The underlying worry, I think, is that giving Daglo this platform, this legitimacy, especially without the official Sudanese government involved, it could look like Kenya is sort of endorsing the RSF.
Right, despite the atrocities they're accused of.
Yeah. Exactly. And that just complicates everything, holding the RSF accountable, finding a real path to peace. It could even drag out the conflict.
And it's not just outsiders criticizing. Sudan's government itself is leveling accusations of genocide, massacres, attacks on displaced people by the RSF.
Yeah.
What's really interesting, too, is the timing you mentioned. This meeting happened while there was an active court case in Kenya.
That's right. Yeah, a case filed in the High Court seeking to block the RSF from signing any political agreements in Kenya.
So challenging the whole basis for these kinds of meetings on Kenyan soil.
Precisely. And it brings up this internal tension within Kenya. You have figures like Supreme Court Judge Isaac Lenaola advocating for using Kenya's own laws like the International Crimes Act, which they've had for 17 years to deal with international crimes locally.
An act designed to prosecute global atrocities.
Yet hosting Daglo seems to, well, run counter to the spirit of that act, doesn't it?
It certainly appears that way.
And experts are warning about the risks. Hosting the RSF, letting them sign deals, it's seen as interfering in another country's affairs. Plus, there's a very real concern about Kenya's own national security. Could it attract retaliation, set a bad precedent?
Make Kenya a venue for these kinds of contested agreements.
Yeah, potentially destabilizing. And look, even the UN fact-finding mission chair pointed out sanctions aren't stopping weapons flow to either side in Sudan. It just shows how incredibly complex this is for anyone trying to mediate.
So connecting the dots here.
Yeah.
It feels like Kenya is caught in a really tough spot. You have the stated goal mediation, peace building, but the actions, like this meeting, are drawing fire for potentially legitimizing a group accused of horrific things. And that has real potential knock-on effects for Kenya's security, its reputation, its whole standing in the region.
It really does. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this raises an important question. How do nations navigate the intricate balance between seeking peace through dialogue and upholding accountability for egregious human rights abuses? What stands out to you as the biggest challenge for regional diplomacy in such a volatile environment?
It's a profound dilemma, isn't it? Trying to broker peace often means talking to people accused of terrible things, but where do you draw the line? It really highlights that delicate tightrope walk nations like Kenya face. Trying to find solutions, but grappling with these huge ethical and political consequences makes you really wonder about the long-term impact, not just for Kenya, but for the stability of the entire region.